Thank you. And you know what? What is your power?
Ease away. If you look at the bird farms out there, where you see them, you got a girl.
Okay. Here we get over here, right? You're a young guy.
Holidays is fast. Holidays coming up all this stuff.
You marry someone.
So you say to him,
This is stupid. By now, you don't have to wear the mask. You should know that unless you're sick or tending to sick people. And we also want you to know that we're taking this very seriously, but not so much or not any more than we would take the regular flu. Why is that? Paul, you were doing some investigating. What is the percentage of people dying in the United States from the flu last year?
It's not the percentages, it's the numbers. So we have, I think it's 2017, okay, there were 45 million cases of the flu. Now, the flu isn't as deadly as the coronavirus. You had 61,000 deaths, right? 80% of the deaths with this coronavirus are in the elderly. I personally think that if we were to quarantine anyone over 65 and people that are vulnerable, they have pre-existing conditions, I think we may be better off than shutting down the whole country. I just don't think it's feasible in the long term to shut it down. I think we have to go ahead and quarantine those who are vulnerable, and just not everybody. I have some other numbers here that we'll get to later, but yeah, there's Mike over there, Ruben, myself, Paul, just talking about the what people are doing and how they're reacting to this pandemic.
And people have to go back to work, otherwise we're going to be in bigger problems, right?
Well, it's not just that. It's, for example, if you're going to the store and buying all the toilet paper, or you're buying all the paper towels, the number of people under the age of 40 who have died from coronavirus, it's negligible. So if you think the factories are going to shut down and you're not going to be able to get toilet paper or paper towels, you're wrong. You will be able to get it. You will still, the country will still operate. So there's no need to buy 25 rolls of paper towel, 25 rolls of toilet paper. You don't need to act like this is the last time you're ever going to go to the grocery store. There's no zombie apocalypse happening. The country will still function.
Stop stockpiling toilet paper. And I'm talking to you idiots, you know who you are. Diarrhea is not one of the symptoms of this virus, okay? So you don't need that much toilet paper. Stop buying guns. I mean, people are running around buying guns and ammo. It's a virus. It's not zombies.
Well, they think it's a zombie apocalypse. When they studied this in Korea, South Korea, one of the first countries where you had the wave of the epidemic and then it crested, right? Okay, how many deaths do you think there were under the age of 30? What do you think?
Under the age of 30?
Under the age of what percentage of the people that got coronavirus died in South Korea?
Well, less than 1%.
Okay, 0. No deaths. So let's say you have a factory and you have people that are under the age of 30 working in said factory. Well, it's still going to function because even if they do get it, it's going to be a mild case. So we do have to keep going forward, and we can't make it political. And you know, like if I were president, somebody would probably have already impeached me because I would have said, you know, we need to quarantine the elderly and those who are at risk, you know, due to pre-existing conditions.
Actually, if you were president, I would feel more confident right now.
Well, I don't think the president's dying. You laugh about it. I don't know what you want President Trump to do. What do you want him to go to people's houses and put masks on?
No, I want him to tell the truth.
Go to Pelosi's house and ask her what he should do?
I went to Pelosi's house.
I don't think it has anything to do with Trump.
I didn't say it had something to do with Trump. I'm saying he could stop just saying that it's going to be okay, because
but
you know what? You have to get serious about the thing.
He doesn't need to say it's okay, because he needs to keep calm and peace and not panic. This is not
I saw him. He's trying to keep people positive.
Yeah, just trying to keep positive.
Listen to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci.
He knows what he's talking about. Again, I'm not a Republican, Democrat, I'm an independent, but attacking Trump is the worst thing you can do right now. Because he didn't create it, he's got nothing to do with it.
That's right, it's a Chinese created virus, right?
I don't think it was Chinese created. I think it started in China. But I know that they suppressed it. They arrested doctors who tried to get the information out.
Yeah,
So
the Chinese government certainly didn't help. But let's get to the point. Some of the symptoms, as most people know by now, they really start maybe 2 or 3 days, sometimes a week after you get infected. Coughing, fever, and it progresses.
I heard it was now. They're saying it's probably not as far out as you think. It's probably like 2 days, right? I actually personally, I believe I had coronavirus a couple months ago. I can tell you the symptoms. I saw someone on TV and they were talking about it. It was
Didn't give him the beer.
mild fever for a couple days. I had heart palpitations. I had fatigue, a cough, and then I had a lot of chest pain. I actually went to the hospital. I thought it was something to do with my chest. Like my heart, turned out nothing with my heart.
Had you been
They sent
drinking
me home.
Corona beers or Budweiser?
No Corona beers. But
Okay.
I do think I had it, and it lasted for about a week and a half, the total cycle of it.
What do we have the real symptoms of the coronavirus, right?
Yeah, that's what.
Well, this was an
talking about.
interview with someone who actually was in the midst of it.
Okay.
Said these were some of the symptoms. Those are exactly what I had,
Oh,
which was the heart palpitations, the fever, the fatigue, extreme fatigue. Like walking up the stairs would get me exhausted.
I see.
Yeah, and just to mention, we have so many deaths in Italy because the population in Italy is over
22% are over 65.
over 65, and they have a large population on that age. So these are the people who are actually dying. Children are pretty much on a 0%, correct?
Yep, they're pretty much exempt from I would say the severe and death of the virus. So,
Well, have any children been in like ICU or anything like that?
let's see here. I do have some numbers on this. U.S. 19 and under, they say 1.6 to 2.5% are admitted to the hospital. So under 19, 1.6 to 2.5%, and none were sent to the ICU. And no deaths.
And no deaths.
So if you're under 20 years old, you don't really have to worry about it. Well, you don't want to get it, but it's far less deadly than influenza for children.
And please stop buying cases and cases of bottled water.
And bread.
Tap water is just as wet. Make your own bread. I mean, don't go buy. You're making it, not all of you, but people are making this more difficult than it is because they're stockpiling everything. I'm used to just going to the store on an everyday basis, get what I need for the day. Now I can't because there's nothing to be found, and
Well, the fear is what the problem is. 80% of the deaths of this are coming to people over 65, the elderly. If you're not over 65, you don't have to have this dread and fear. There's no need to buy out everything in the supermarket. Now, if you're over 65, you should be quarantined. And if you have underlying conditions, whether it's respiratory, you should quarantine yourself. But your average person on the street probably don't have to worry too much about it.
And about the mask. If you're ugly, wear it. That's the only reason you want to wear a mask. Do you have anything to add to this?
Michael, what about you? What do you have to add?
Well, first of all, stop purchasing the masks except for those in the healthcare area who really need them that are treating people. Plus, it makes you look funny anyway, but that's your choice. Second of all, just what these guys were saying is, if you're not over 65, don't panic. There's no reason to panic. My dad's 78, I believe, and he's not panicking. He's bored to death, actually. He wants to get out. Trying to keep him at home is difficult. So just, keep your social distancing as much as you possibly can, but, take it serious without feeling like this is an apocalyptic event and everybody's going to die in 10 days.
Well, I do want to, before we go, I do want to give everybody, including you guys, a little knowledge that something I learned during the war,
Yes.
and it is all about saving toilet paper. Now, this is for visual aid, but if you're really afraid about, the toilet paper industry going down, this is a way you can save TP. Basically, anytime you need it, just grab one sheet like this. You fold it.
Oh man.
You fold it right here in one. Then you hold it again. No, pay attention. You fold it twice, right? Then you take this corner and you gently grip it. Now don't throw this away. We're gonna need it later. But and then you have this.
I don't want to see where this is going. I just.
Please watch and learn, okay? So basically, what you do is the whatever finger it is you're accustomed to use.
Wow.
You do this. Now you apply. You swipe and wipe the affected area, such as
Michael, please stop him.
like this.
Please stop him now.
Then watch. No,
Oh my God.
Please, and then you just gently, and you're done.
Please tell me that.
Now
didn't
this
just happen.
little piece we saved. It's for your fingernail, okay?
Do not tell me this just happened.
And
I'm not condoning this behavior unless it's on a cupcake.
Dude, you never know. Okay. Oh, I missed something. But in other words,
Oh my
this
Lord.
is the way to avoid anal residue.
Why don't you just go pick some leaves in your garden, Ruben? Just go.
I ran out.
Were you fighting with squirrels over the leaves or something?
Dude.
I think he had poison ivy. Used poison ivy last time. It didn't end well.
Thanks for watching. Do you want to bite?
No.
Sure. Okay. We're done.
I'm ready for the bullying episode, man. I think that's what it is.
Ruben, why did you show that disgusting